Have you ever wondered, man, I wonder what the weird and slightly disturbing lore of Gang Beasts is? Of course not, because that'd be kind of strange. I mean, Gang Beasts doesn't have any secrets to hide from us. Well, hey, it's me, the guy to make you notice weird and strange things while playing Gang Beasts. So, for the people that don't know, Gang Beasts is a game where you fight your friends in a battle to the death in these weird and dangerous locations. Yeah, it has some secrets to hide. And first of all, some of these secrets and facts are just ideas that me and S.E. Fannin came up with, and they might not be 100% accurate. But others, we got them from the game, and we almost know they're true. It's kind of weird what you can find in a game with blob fighting people. Anyway, let's start with an idea that we found some evidence for in the game, but we're not 100% sure about. So, we believe that Gang Beasts takes place in a Matrix-style simulation made by this fancy guy on the screen right now. So, I'm not sure if this is going to be a series, but if it is, this video of it will cover the backstory and possibly the future of this fancy dude. So, to start with him, he's the creator of this Matrix-style simulation. He was, and still is, a brilliant scientist. He designed the simulation to be able to explore the Earth and test its experiments without harming the actual Earth. So, I'll call the simulation the experiment. Just sounds kind of cool, I don't know. Anyway, after doing some tests in the experiment, the fancy guy decided to test with other living people. He knew that they would also turn into these gang beasts, as he had designed himself to turn into. The tests went well, and word spread about his amazing recreation of the whole entire Earth. People who had been in the experiment said stuff like, "It's so realistic, and you have basically no boundaries as you explore the world." So, as these amazing responses to the experiment were given to fancy adult man, he decided to make it bigger. Soon, as many people could enter the experiment without any problem. Or so he thought. After the insane amount of people who wanted to experience this amazing creation were finally able to, it actually bugged. And Fancy Man and the big group of people that entered the simulation were stuck and no one could escape. Now, you may be wondering, how does this relate to evidence from the game? You're literally this is just the Matrix. This isn't Gang Beasts. It's science. Well, actually, in the game, you have a large selection of skins to choose from, and these skins are actually separate, different people. And to prove that they can't escape, they're put through pain time and time again, fighting each other on trains and buildings and crap, and if they could, they would be leaving that simulation. Also, there are more people than just who you can play as. Like, the guy who created the simulation in the map called Billboard. And I know earlier in the video I said I would only talk about Fancy Dude, but there is one more odd discovery that S.E. Fannin and I made. Also, sorry about the background vacuum noises if you can hear those. I don't use a microphone. Anyway, almost everywhere there are billboards and vending machines and boxes for meat and beef. And this may just seem like a silly addition to the game, but we think it's much more. In a map called Roof, it has letters spelling the word awful. It's spelled OFFAL, not like you're eating something that tastes awful. But the spelling of it means this is going to be kind of gross, so if you want to skip, you can. It means animal organs used as food, which it probably does taste awful. Anyway, we think that this offal is what the gang beasts are eating, not beef. The people manufacturing this offal are tricking other gang beasts into eating it. Plus, this isn't just normal offal. It's injected with the pink sludge-like chemical stuff in the grinder map of the game, which I'll probably have on screen. Anyway, this may seem like a stretch, but let me explain. These chemicals in the pink goo cause people to lose their memory, making them absolutely stupid. This is why the gang beasts you play as are fighting on these weird and dangerous buildings and structures, because no one in their right mind would do this. And also, on the billboard map, there's a picture of this fancy guy who created the simulation, which proves that he's the one making this brainwash chemical for this offal. I can't just, how do you even pronounce it? It looks like offal. Anyway, he's disguising it as beef and then brainwashing other gang beasts by feeding it to them. And you may be wondering, well, why would the fancy suit guy do this? I mean, he looks like a nice guy. Well, he did that so if anyone was able to finally escape his simulation, they wouldn't go telling people about this failure and the danger that his experiments bring. Anyway, that's just a theory. A bacon theory. Bye, I guess. I don't know. Outros are weird.